This week on Fade to Obsidian, we bring the ongoing Cassius debate to a close. Who will win? Who will cry? All of us. It's all of us. Make sure you've read all of Lightbringer for Cast Bash 3.0.
One of you is very pro Cassius, and one of you is
this
very anti.
This was actively selected.
I just don't hate him. I like him, but Dram over here hates him.
Welcome back for
Gonna be so fun.
Cast Bash 2.0.
I'm gonna get owned is what's about to happen.
It's almost like you realize that you're wrong. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Fade to Obsidian, your Red Rising podcast about spaceships, relationships, and everything in between. As always, I'm Crescent, joined by Skipper.
Hello.
And for Cast Bash 3.0, though we hesitate to call it Cast Bash, we have, once again, Dram and Hydro.
Welcome
Dram, back, you guys.
Hey!
Good to be back. Fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
You can also call me RA.
Look at you!
Look at
Oh
her.
yeah, that is...
I've got the pink contacts in. So
everyone who's currently listening, I would skip over to YouTube just for a few minutes because we got the full cosplay.
Hell
going.
yeah.
Gosh.
And while you're there, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
right.
Do it.
Yeah. You look amazing. This was your Halloween costume, right, Dram?
It was. And I got told I looked like a colorful Laura Croft a few times. And I was like, no. And then they'd be like, why are your eyes weird? And I'm like, because I'm RA. And they're like, okay, do tell. So I did get a few people to commit to Red Rising that night.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Which was the main goal.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
That's what it's all about.
I love it. Yeah, we are here for Cast Bash 3.0, but it did words. I figured out today that bash is not necessarily a negative thing. It could be like a party. We could be celebrating.
True. I did have that thought too.
Party.
So maybe celebrating his death, depending on how this goes, or just his life. So we're gonna get into it.
Well, Dram his life, how he lived his life.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
You didn't live
That dude threw a Cast Bash once or twice.
Yeah. Well, let's get
For
in.
sure.
Okay, so Dram and Hydro, for people who might be tuning into this and have not watched the last two Cast Bash episodes, can you please fill us in, previous to Lightbringer, on your stances on Cassius?
He was just trying to bring honor to us all. That's all. Just live his life. Bring honor to his family, and then kind of just bring honor to Daryl. Just fine. Just living his life, trying to redeem himself. That's all. Still, he proved in the end that he was a good guy, right? Because if Daryl forgave him, and especially if several forgave him, who are we? Who are we to judge him?
Yes, I like it. Came prepared. All right, Dram, you got the more difficult. What was our standpoint previous?
So Cassius is a space fuckboy, and I truly don't think as many people would like him if he wasn't as beautiful as he is.
Yep.
I think he makes a lot of decisions just kind of on a whim. I don't necessarily think he's the most intellectual character, and for me, I think that's kind of why I have some distaste for him. I don't really understand his reasoning for some things, and yeah, I just think Cassius loves Cassius.
That is true.
Yeah. The same argument can be about Daryl. His choices were questionable at times.
Yeah, he didn't name all the Howlers. Terrible names. It's fine.
They accepted it though. They accepted. Nobody's like, oh, no, don't call me that. They were like, okay. Screwface, sure.
Yep.
Space bully.
Well,
Okay, we're starting off on a strong note here. Speaking of strong note, what's everybody drinking?
Oh yeah, I totally
Woo!
skipped. What do we have?
I made Twist's recipe, the Cassius drink, which
Ooh.
is pretty strong.
What's in it?
She does
So-
not know how to make a drink that is not strong.
No, that's a
It is
Twist
not in her
special.
repertoire.
So it's Dewar's, what is it? Benedictine. And dry vermouth, and with an absinthe rinse.
Yep.
Just shook all up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
And I also have this frat boy, tall boy thing going on.
Hard Arizona.
Hell yeah.
You know.
There it is.
Dram, what do you have?
You're an F-boy.
Yeah, he's definitely a frat boy.
Oh, yeah. So I actually tried to make Twist's recipe. I went into the liquor store at like 7:45. You can't get alcohol in Indiana in like after 8 p.m. So I was like running through there, and I realized I don't know what vermouth is, and I could not find it. And I was too afraid to ask. So we came up with something different.
For future
One.
reference, it's fortified wine.
Oh, is it really? It would have been in the wine.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. So instead, which I
Go
thought
on,
this is
Schlar.
the perfect representation of our space fuckboy. One, what sorority girl doesn't love Goldschlager?
Yeah.
And also, it has gold in it, and we can't take that away from him. He is an iron gold. So
Yep.
I do not like to actually drink this. So what I'm going to do is, for Cassius, I am going to take one shot here. Mind you, I have never tasted this, but it says it has cinnamon taste.
Cinnamon.
All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it tastes like
cinnamon.
Fireball.
Great. I'm going to do this
Oh my god.
for you, Cassius, space fuckboy, for giving me at least something to talk about. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Fireball. That's what that tastes like, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just cinnamon. Did everyone
Okay,
ever,
my-
when you were in university or college, have the rumor go around that what Goldschlager does is the gold flakes slowly cut your throat so that it gets into your bloodstream faster? That was a whole... Yes, thank you, Dram. Thank you, Dram. Yeah,
It was a
so
whole
you
thing.
drink Goldschlager because you got drunk faster because it was entering your bloodstream because the gold was cutting your throat somehow. See if that's going to be FDA approved.
I don't
And
even
the
think
irony
sharp
is-
gold could cut you.
I'm in nursing school. That's a bunch of smart people who take like advanced physio, but it's fine. We still believed it.
Yeah. Love
Okay.
it.
After Goldschlager, I am actually gonna drink an old fashioned.
Yay!
Call me old fashioned.
Nice.
With a new whiskey that had an eagle on the front. I forget
Ooh,
the name,
Eagle, is it
and
Eagle Rare?
it might be. My husband took the bottle because I said, you got to take the kids so I can do a podcast. So he's like, and I'll take this. I was like, all right, that's fine.
Is it like a tall, thin bottle?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Eagle Rare.
Nice.
I tried.
Ooh.
I wanted to get that for this drink. But
Well,
it's
I tried to
naturally
find
rare.
vermouth for 20 minutes. So there's that.
Yeah, I bought vermouth, and then I came home and I realized I already had vermouth, and I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Classic.
Refrigerate after opening.
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
It says
It's
it
a
on
wine.
the bottle.
All
Yep.
right.
That seems weird.
That seems weird. All right, Crescent, do you have your Eagle's Rest drink? Is that what I'm
I sure do.
looking
It's
at?
exactly what I have.
Ooh, it's so fancy.
Gosh.
Twist would approve.
Very gold. I'm
I'm
gonna be excreting gold for a week.
There you go. I just have red wine, but it's called Sibling Rivalry. Because I feel like that seems to be the ongoing path of Cassius, of who's his real brother, who does he replace people, or, you know, try and make their brother, and then, you know, at the end, him and Darrow obviously proclaiming each other's brothers. So Sibling Rivalry was what I went with. Just kind of happened to be in my house, but anyway, it's a good one. So there we go.
That's a good podcast host who can take anything in their house, make it relevant.
Go. That's
Yep.
it.
Make
Yep.
it Red Rising.
We've done
It's
it
true.
many a times here. Yep.
Yeah, that's like our whole thing.
Yeah.
Make it work.
All right.
What liquor can I shoehorn into this episode?
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Well, let's jump in. We've got a lot of stuff to unpack. We also, ahead of you guys coming on, we decided to send out a Cassius survey. We're going to go in and out of some of those answers. There is a lot. It was full open essay questions. Hydro would have loved it because there was no character count. So it does mean that we will not get into most of the responses. I just kind of went through and took the essence of them and called out a few of them. So we're going to use those throughout the episode, not necessarily in any particular order. But thank you everyone who answered. To the person who answered it after only reading Red Rising.
First of all, we applaud your chaos.
Yeah.
Dedication. That is such dedication
also,
there.
Whoops.
Yeah. Oh no.
There is a spoiler.
There's
a couple spoiler questions in there. So I hope that person is not watching for two reasons. One, this is going to be full Lightbringer spoilers. And two, we will probably roast you really badly. But also, you've given us more talking points because it shows where we came from Cassius to all the way to the end of Lightbringer and how we can compare.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So Cassius always started at the top.
Yeah.
And ended at the bottom.
Well, now that we can openly talk Cassius, because the last time we met was a very interesting, and I feel like I'm going to put the clip in, of Crescent being real pissed.
I'm drinking Lafroig 10 cask strength because I am of the cask strength opinion that Lysander should have died at 10 years old.
He's killing children. We just started.
It's Lysander.
We have to have the disclosure before.
I mean,
you don't leave a pit viper egg under your seat.
He had finished Lightbringer. We had not. We did not know what we were getting into. And we were even trying to hide some of the things that we knew of him coming back in Dark Age. So I have, for Dram, your stance at the end of Iron Gold was that he had no honor. That's what you put your entire basis on. Did you still feel that all through Dark Age, or was it into Lightbringer when you finally flipped to enjoying him?
My biggest issue with him has been how wishy-washy he is. Yep. He's kind of like the parallel to Severo. Severo is like ride or die Darrow. Darrow's going to make a bad decision. I'm going to stick with him no matter what it does to me. And then you have Cassius, who's like, kind of for me, but I'm also along this journey where I'm making better and better decisions as the books go on. Yeah. So it's hard because I feel like he could have stayed with the Republic and done a lot of good, but instead he kind of got mopey, got in his feels, took off, drank himself into a stupor. So I don't necessarily think he doesn't have honor, but it's that I don't think he really knows himself. Like, he doesn't really commit to one thing or another. He's just too fluid. Yeah. Until the end, which was nice.
Yeah.
I think he knew that. I think he knew he's like, I made all these wrong decisions. I went things about it the wrong way. And he tried to correct it for like 10 years. And then he's like, I can do this. If I can change Lysander, then I can do this. Like, I'll redeem myself or whatever.
Now, the actual breakdown of how he's feeling, and I felt the one paragraph that showed like his mental growth throughout, I'm going to ask Crescent Encyclopedia to pull it up if you don't mind. It's where he comes back with the helium-3. Darrow just finds out that Severo's been sold at auction, and he goes on this whole spiel about killing, what is it, an antelope? Killing a wild animal. He goes on the hunt, and he talks about, this is what Apollonius is going to do to you. But then he talks about himself a lot and talks about his journey to get where he's at. And I was like, okay, I think that this is the point where I cannot no longer say he has no honor. He knows where he is and where he's going.
Yep.
I still don't think he's very intelligent and has. We'll touch on those points when
We'll
we get there. I think he's made.
Well, they said that in like the first book, in Red Rising, the first one, when they took the test or whatever, and he got like offended when Daryl, he said like, oh well, like I what did he got like one wrong or something on the entrance exam, and he's like, oh, I didn't study, and then like Cassie was like, excuse me, and he's like, I was just kidding, I was just pulling your, I was just joshing you, and he, oh okay, he was like, because maybe like with his whole family, it's like you had to be the best, and then for him to be like, well, I didn't study, and I only missed one question. I feel like that whole he tried to be he tried to impress his family with his intelligence. That's why he was always talking shit to everybody, trying to prove that. So maybe like, what's that called? His ego got too big.
Yep.
Maybe. He got a big ego.
Preston, did you find it?
Not specifically, no.
Okay, no worries.
I know I know the chapter. It would be in chapter 4, The Sordid Affair, when he's talking about how,
of course. That's exactly it.
Severos has been sold at auction.
Yeah.
I have it highlighted in my book that I think might be left in my Jeep. So fail on my part. I'm super sorry.
It's all good. People will figure it out. Okay. Hydro, my question for you, now that we can talk openly, and this is for Crescent as well, I think, have you both actually been Cassius's fans since day one? Not since Morningstar, but since day one Red Rising, you were like, oh yeah, this guy stabbed Darrow in the forest. I'm still here for him.
That is like the one time when that actually happened. I was like, why is
that's
Daryl
a bad look.
I was like, Daryl's complaining so much. I understand you're dying, but like you're acting like a little bitch right now. Like you might kind of deserve it because you did lie to him. You killed his brother. Like if you would have just...
Did you just say he's acting like a bitch? About Daryl?
That's the one time I was like, Daryl, like, come on. Cassius, that was his mentality. He's like, okay, like, you lied to me. You killed my brother. Like, I know that was the game that we were put in, but still, like, you could have came clean. So I was like, okay. I'm like, he's kind of like, if somebody killed my brother and lied to me about it, like, oh yeah, it was totally that other guy. Like, I got your back. And then, like, pretended to be my brother this whole entire institute. And then it was like, found out through other people. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try and get some revenge. Yeah, sure.
Or if his mental muscles were as big as his physical muscles, he could have understood why he would have kept it from him. And not killed him. He's his biggest ally.
He needed time to process. Like, a lot of time.
Like 3 books
so
worth.
many time.
6 books worth. 6. That's how long.
No, just
but
2.
He got it. He understood
Just
finally.
2.
And then he had finally his brother.
They were good at the end of Morningstar.
All right, have you been Cassius since Red Rising?
And then I thought, snake bite, I was like, you son of a bitch, I believed in you. And then like I kept reading, I was like, oh, you got me. When I thought they killed several, I was like, you fucking, I was so mad. And then I was like, dang, that was good.
Yeah, no, I was not the whole time.
No.
Yeah, basically, he stabs Darrow, and then, he's with Mustang, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, right?
The gala.
Yep.
How many of us?
I cheered when the winter branch broke.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, and then, at Morningstar, you kind of start to come around.
Yeah.
So I was fully on board with Cassius by the end of Morningstar.
Well, before I get into what other people's response was, Dram, did you have the quote you wanted to pull up? Now that you have, like, Bringer sitting in your lap.
I have ADHD. I just realized that I have 2 copies of Lightbringer since when I went to Tulsa. I had one, and then I got one there. And no, I do not have it pulled up, but I will work on it.
It's all good. I will say, so the question we asked the fandom is, when did you start to like Cassius? What book? Or never? And please give a short answer on why.
Short answer.
There is some that are day one, ride or die. 11 out of 25 people said Red Rising, and I want to call bullshit on them. There's no way that you... There's no way that half the people...
I didn't want him to...
liking Cassius and then stopping liking Cassius,
I guess.
Red Rising still counts. Because I loved Cassius until he stabbed Darrow.
Yeah. There is someone who said...
You guys suck.
There is somebody who said, I've always wanted him to be better, shocked every time at the blood feud at the end of Red Rising. There is someone else, though, who said Red Rising was always Darrow's brother. I don't want to be in that person's household if brothers are stabbing each other. I don't want that.
That they need therapy. I mean,
I don't know.
I found the quote, by the way.
Okay.
I might be the one stabbing, to be honest.
Yeah, you would be the one stabbing. Yeah, now we know why Hydro likes him.
Are we good?
We're good, Drew. What's the question?
All right. The raw truth is, I liked my wealth. I liked my pinks. I liked being on top, a Bologna. I felt the wrongness of it, but I excused it. Said it was the way of the world. Pretended I wasn't the boot on the throat of the reds or the pinks. I made myself believe my honor made me an exception. One of the good tyrants. Honor was made to hide behind, I think, like a crown or an Olympic cape. I know now I was only a more tolerable source of misery. And if I'm honest, that's why I spent 10 years trapsing around the asteroids with Lysander, doing small good when and where I could.
There you go. Yep.
And that is like the most self-aware comment. Like, how many people are quite that self-aware? I was like, okay, he's coming somewhere. There is no therapy in space, but
yeah,
maybe R.A., my favorite character in this entire book, clearly, talk to him a little bit. That's what I feel. Like, pinks are good at that. If any color was going to be a therapist, I feel it would be a pink.
Yep. I can see that. Theodora. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is someone who put that he was a good foil for Darrow. So I think understanding Cassius's own person and reading this, not necessarily as super pro Darrow, but just neutral to everyone. He was everything we were supposed to hate about the Golds, but you couldn't help but love him and his stupid honor. War is complicated. Humans are complicated. And I thought Cassius showed that things aren't always either or. Sometimes it's both and. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Call out to that person. A lot of these...
Are they in the den? Can we call them out?
We have... This is all
They're
anonymous. So we have no idea.
Okay, I was going to high-five somebody, but okay.
If you wrote that, let us know.
Yeah.
If you want a high five from Dram, show yourself.
Serious. well thought out.
Yeah. But yeah, so as I said, almost half the people said Red Rising from the beginning. 3 different people said Morning Star, which makes sense of when you get back. This math doesn't work out. Why doesn't this? Whatever. Like, what have I done?
Cassius.
Here? But
Cassius's whole story. The math ain't mathin'. Sorry.
Math ain't mathin'. The thing I was surprised that nobody said Iron Gold. There's one person for Dark Age, and I would have assumed more people for Iron Gold, because that's when I started to kind of actually trust him more, of like, we see him at the beginning saving, well, he doesn't save the low colors, but yelling at Lysander for not saving the low colors, and that's when he started to win me over. So I was a little shocked by that.
Well, like the bleeding places in that book, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a huge... I thought most people would turn there.
Yeah. So.
He just wanted to die with honor in the bleeding place, and Lysander.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who hasn't liked him for so many books, I very specifically remember where I was driving and the amount of fist pumps I was doing during that whole My Honor Remains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was just really interesting. I've no Iron Gold love. And then Dark Age and then Lightbringer was the other ones. So our dear friend who has only read Red Rising put...
Oh, God help him.
Based on the first book, I never really started to like Cassius. He came across as arrogant and entitled gold who looked down on Darrow. So I think that is where we start. That's us at the beginning of Red Rising. So, like, yeah.
Because you're supposed to not like him.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I think you're supposed to like him. He's super handsome, and he's got the banter and everything.
He gets pretty privileged?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets pretty privilege. Absolutely.
For real.
He's based his whole personality on pretty privilege.
Yeah.
That is 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so Iron Gold, I think, is a huge turning point for me, and then cemented in Lightbringer. So let's talk Lightbringer. And, Dram, before we say anything, can you explain to the audience what you wore to HowlerCon?
Okay, so actually it's sitting right beside me because I figured this point would come up and I would have to tuck tail and hide. But also, Pierce Brown signed it and nodded yes. So
nodded yes. It's not wrong.
It is a black tank top.
Yeah.
Mind you, I had not finished, obviously, Lightbringer when I went there. And I was in a room full of people who most of them had. And I have a black tank top, and in gold writing it says, Cassius is a space fuckboy. And then on the back is a dolphin. And the reason is he would be great on vacation, but you don't bring him home.
You don't bring him home.
And yeah, I still stand by this, but it was a rough crowd. It was a rough crowd at HowlerCon with that.
Did people comment on it?
Oh yeah, repeatedly. And they're like, "Why is it a dolphin and not an eagle?" And I was like, "Well, he's a dolphin because he'd be fun on vacation. You don't take him home." And they would be appalled, and then they'd be like, "Okay, well, you guys are in the biggest group around here, so I don't think anybody was trying to be like mean because they're like, you guys are crazy." Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was interesting. Special.
I remember you sending it to us what you were gonna wear.
Thanks, Tom.
And I definitely messaged Chris that Hydro forget if you were dead or not, and I just was like, "Oh no, like this is not."
I still love it. It's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Correct.
And like I said, Pierce confirmed Cassius is a space fuckboy. I have it on video because he reads it and goes, like, shakes his head and shrugs, like, yeah. Duh. And I'm like, oh, damn.
I was going to save that question until later, but I'm going to bring it up now. I asked the fandom, would you take him home from vacation, or is he still a dolphin?
He's a dolphin, sorry.
I will say the majority said yes, he comes home from vacation, and these are all short answers of he comes home, put a ring on that man, I'd take him home, caps lock, take him home.
That's hilarious.
If I was a smoking hottie who liked dudes, that anything after his college party years, anything after book 3, would be safe to take him as a keeper. His ass is coming home. He's coming home. I'd keep him forever. Definitely coming home. Obvi. Take him home. Yes, take him home.
This is ridiculous.
He's got his own room even. I don't think that person understood the context of what we were saying. Doesn't get his own room. Someone else, I would
Well, yeah, you do the bad stuff in that room.
Yeah. I would take him home for vacation. After Lightbringer, I'd 100% take him home. Hell, I'd take him on vacation. So you're taking him back on vacation. And then, yes. The dolphin, though, is fuckboy all the way. Absolutely not. The alcoholism does not do it for me. Still a dolphin, and too damaged to take home. He's a vacation fling. So I think really leaning into he's still got his issues.
There were only, what,
He
2
was working
intelligent people?
That's
Not
4.
kidding.
There's 4. There's 4
Oh,
intelligent people.
was that 4 comments? I'll take them.
That
I'll
was
take them
4.
where I can get them.
And then other people, I don't understand this question, and I'm embarrassed, but I take him anywhere in any way he wanted. Hopefully, just a drinking buddy. Adds as a drinking buddy. Questions for that person. Someone else.
Okay.
I plead the 5th. I'm saying that's a dolphin. If you're not admitting what you're doing with him.
Yeah,
True.
say it with your chest.
It's like Vegas. We don't talk about what happens in that.
And then our dear friend who has only read Red Rising says, I have no idea what the dolphin reference means, but I would not take him home from vacation.
I feel like this man's going to be the only one on my side in most of these answers. It's fine.
Yeah. We like him. I will say, okay, so we did this survey, and the reason we did this is because it came out of a previous survey that we did for Lightbringer, and some of those answers, are you ready for it? These are all people who I think didn't even like him after Lightbringer.
Oh, no.
Get it, kids.
Cassius is too golden to view lesser colors more than an acquaintance. Cassius never improved. Circumstances just changed around him. He died as much of a shithead as he walked into the passage.
Exit, get out of here.
Just read the same book.
Is Exit?
He hates him.
Cassius. I didn't know this about
Exit
Exit.
is more anti-Cassius than I am. Like, when I came in very, very emotionally damaged after, Hangar 17B, he actually yelled at me for being, like, emotional about it. He's like, you were on my side, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Wow.
Dude,
You fucking traitor.
I was like, I mean, give me a moment, okay? He's been in my life for a while.
Wow. I didn't know this about Exit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I told him
Opinion
when he said-
changed.
I was so upset. I was like, when I meet you in real life, I'm going to punch you because I don't understand why you don't love this man now. Like, I understand
Yeah.
before, but like after everything, he's like, oh no, he's still a shithead. I was like, why? In like after Hanger, whatever
Yeah.
chapter, I was like, he's like, oh no, he's still a shithead. I'm like, why are you being to me?
Well, let's talk about, like, okay, so especially too golden to view lesser colors more than an acquaintance. This was in reference to whether or not him and Lyria are friends. How are we, like, during Lightbringer, what's our response to that? Do we think that he's just doing good to make
That's
himself
just
feel better?
incorrect.
Or, okay,
No.
go off, Crescent, go off.
Well,
I have a response.
He basically blows up half a mission to save a bunch of low colors.
Yep.
And, if Darrow doesn't come charging in and save his ass, he dies for those low colors.
Yeah.
He is in love with Ori.
Yep.
And, like,
Who isn't?
how can you possibly think that Cassius and Lyria are not actually friends? Like, sure, maybe they're just drinking buddies, but, like, you ever had a really, really deep conversation with somebody while you're drinking?
I feel like
Those
that,
are real friendships.
I feel like
I have a response.
we're more friends than him and Darrow.
Yeah.
I
Graham, what's your
think
response?
that he absolutely wanted to go for the low colors. I think his motivation was pure. I still feel like it was not an intelligent move. Like, I don't think it's a Mustang move, which is one of the reasons that I don't particularly, like, he's not one of my favorite characters because of that. I don't think he makes intelligent moves. And then also with the Lyria relationship, he is struggling with alcoholism at this point in time, and in walks in somebody that he's like, hey, you're a red. I know that in this republic we respect reds, but I know you're going to drink with me. So I think that was the initiating factor was, hey, I'm an alcoholic and I need somebody to drink with, and I know if you're with me, I'm not drinking alone. No one's going to talk shit because you're a red and I'm going to be with you. So I think a little bit of that was there, but I do truly, as Crescent said, when you're drinking, you have these deep conversations and you develop like strong friendships. And I do think by the end, they had a very, very strong friendship.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, I totally believe that. I actually think that him and Lyria might have been more than less. Like,
No.
I think there was.
I've never even thought about that.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
In my head,
I don't think it
Lyria's a
was there
lesbian,
in
and I
the
have
book,
no idea why.
but I think the seeds were planted.
No.
It's the like, that's my girl, and like, is he talking about the ship?
He acts
or
like a 12-year-old
Lyria?
around her.
Yeah, there is seeds planted that it could have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
But we already know, like, you're as Ori, he had a thing for Ori, so I think that he could have had these situations with quote unquote lesser colors.
True.
And I personally think his heart is there. From what we see in Iron Gold, the seeds are sown of why did Lysander go after the gold and not the lower colors. And then from what we see in Lightbringer, it brings it back around of him going to rescue. So in my mind, that's when I was truly won over. Like Iron Gold, I was like, yeah, okay, I see
he
it.
still slept with the pinks in Iron Gold,
yes.
and Ari was there. So I wonder if that's one of the reasons he can't ever win over Ari. Ari was in that pool with Lysander and Cassius when Lysander abstains, and Cassius is like, well, if they're here.
I'm pretty sure Ori wasn't there.
She's introduced at some point in Iron Gold, and I'm pretty sure it's during that scene.
No,
because I know at least she's introduced in Iron Silk.
Right?
Yeah.
If the encyclopedia, if I have one over on Crescent, my mind will literally be blown. But I thought she enters into that.
No, you are correct.
Oh,
sorry. Pardon my language. I think I look at my kids. It's fine. Sorry, Ari's my favorite character.
Yep.
And I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Ori? Yeah.
Ari.
It's
pronounce
Ori.
it how you want. That's what I do.
But yeah,
even if you tell me how to pronounce
it doesn't really matter.
Say it with confidence, it'll be fine. Well, and then the other person who he's close with is Pytha. He spent 10 years hanging out with Pytha and respecting her.
For Pytha to turn around and...
I know.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, I don't know... Well, we can get into a whole thing with Pytha. I don't necessarily know if she really betrayed or just did what would keep her alive, because she thought that Cassius was dead. So she's got to follow Lysander. And then when she gets the chance, she goes back to Darrow at the end. So I think Pytha was just trying to survive.
We're just fine.
Yep.
That's what Lyria did.
Also, the other thing I want to say is Cassius does not sleep with the pinks in the bath. They go on to continue a conversation.
Wait, what?
But he does make a statement that he could,
he does. He
prefers to, but he ends up not doing it.
Yeah.
Also,
and Ari is there.
I would like to say, is he playing a part? Because they are actively playing a part that they are gold.
If he is, he's enjoying every second of that possibility.
You may not be wrong.
Yeah.
No. He's like, when in Rome, I mean, if this is who we are, bounce, chicka. I'm sorry, but if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should be, because the cheerleader arms have been all over the place.
Dram's all over this.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
I love it. Well, let's get into another question that I asked. I'm going to get you guys all to answer, and I will answer as well. Who was Cassius's true love / soulmate in the series? And it does not have to be romantic. A soulmate, in my mind, can be someone that your soul is just linked and you worked So who do you guys think he matched with, if anybody? And who do you think the fandom thinks?
I'm gonna say Lyria.
You want
Like, they clicked. Yeah. And like he didn't hold back at all. He probably told her way more than he told Daryl ever. Like they just clicked and Eaglet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because him and Daryl, they were brothers, sure, yeah, but you don't tell your brother everything. Like even to your best friend, sometimes you don't tell your best friend everything, but like that person you click with, like you tell them everything, and like and then you never have to bring it up again.
Yeah.
But at least you got it out.
I agree with you. I would say Lyria. It was a different level than everyone else we've seen him with.
Who you got, Dram?
You know my answer. Cassius's soulmate is Cassius. Period.
That's fine. He tried to help himself. That's cool.
I mean, if you want me to break down a PowerPoint, I will break down a PowerPoint, but I feel very strongly on this answer.
I like it.
My opinion is Cassius would have gone down a way better path if his soulmate hadn't been killed out from under him quarter of the way through the first book.
Julian?
It was Julian.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm sad.
It would be a totally different
You weren't
series.
sad after Cassius died? Come on.
Cassius had a few redeeming qualities. Julian had a ton of redeeming qualities.
Yeah. I will say, so interestingly, so 3 people put Lyria. Actually, that's not true.
That's awesome.
One is Lyria, one is Eaglet, and one is Truffle Peg. Like, I greatly appreciated that we got all the names for Lyria.
Variety.
Also.
Oh yeah, your little sword. You're so
my
happy with
cocktail
your
pick
sword.
as a sword.
Oh, that's fun. Look at my eyes.
The razor.
If I'm blinking a lot, it's because I bought my contacts from China. If anybody wants to know the hack on how to buy prescription contacts from China for your color cosplay, let me know. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So you can blink a lot.
You're like Scarlet would be all over that.
Oh, I'm blinking so much. You do not fit well.
2 people put Julian. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. We're down.
Sorry.
2 people.
You have to wake up at 5 a.m.
I have to wake up at 3:30 a.m. I have to be at work at 5 a.m.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's why we're motoring through.
Okay, your DoorDash.
Go.
I will DoorDash you. You're good. Okay, go.
2 people did say Julian. Everything he did after Red Rising was for him. Other people, 2 people said his honor. I don't know how honor can be a soulmate, but sure.
No, that was my second answer.
Was his honor? On a philosophical. One person said, I think he would say Virginia, but I think he got over that.
Oh yeah.
I think he knew that she was not his soulmate.
There was a few of those that he knew wasn't the one.
Ori, I think, as well.
Ori.
Once he sees her with Diomedes, he kind of knows it's over. Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm shot.
Everyone else, that's not true. There is 3 people who said nobody. He doesn't have one. And then everyone else said Darrow.
Okay.
Also a good one.
That's a good one. I think Julian is the most heartfelt.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah. And our dear friend who's only read Rising.
I want to talk to this person. I just want to see what they think is going to happen.
It's got to be coins.
It's got to be coins. It's got to be.
Fill it out. Like he had time to fill it out.
I don't know.
I'll ask him. Did you fill out the survey?
It's hard to say based only on one book, as Cassius' character and relationship aren't explored in depth. He seemed close with his sister, Bologna, but I wouldn't say his soulmate necessarily. I don't think Cassius has a sister.
Okay, well,
Is he thinking Jackal?
Maybe?
Adrian?
I don't know.
or Julian, maybe if they're from another country, that could be a female name, maybe.
Maybe.
If you're reading it in a different language, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yep. Maybe.
I don't know.
The follow-up question to this, and we'll kind of dive in because it's similar to what we were just saying, is who is his closest friend ally? So slightly different than the last question. Or would you stick with the same answer
Depends.
you gave?
It would be
Depends on the
Darrow.
book.
You're going down.
So,
I think my biggest.
Because in Lightbringer, he wouldn't tell Lyria anything, right? Like when they were gonna do the thing.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, you can't know." Like.
But I think that's to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that keeps Lyria safe more than I think he might have trusted her to not fuck it up, but it keeps her safe to not know.
Right.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with him is that I think it changes very frequently. As Crescent said, it depends on the book.
Yeah.
Because he changes.
Yeah.
He does. But if your core values are not ones that need to change, then it wouldn't.
Then
but like, where's the fun in a character that doesn't change?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't grow. I'm just saying your allegiances shouldn't shift from book to book. And us follow you because you're pretty.
So
I mean, they really only shift the one time.
They go from liking Darrow in Red Rising to stabbing him.
No. That's not his allegiance shifting. That's his perception changing. His allegiance is to the society.
Okay, I understand that you're thinking allegiance in a bigger term, but I'm talking about like personal allegiance. So if I have a personal allegiance to my best friend, that is different than my allegiance to the United States of America. And I still think both of those are important. And, add value to my character.
Do you think that his allegiance to Julian for the entirety of his life outweighed the months that he spent with Darrow?
Yes, but that becomes an intelligence issue. You have to understand that if you are intelligent enough to know that Darrow had no choice, then you can separate your feelings from your actions, which he does not.
But he didn't know that until way later. Way later.
What?
About Darrow. He just didn't like him. He killed his brother. They were brothers, whatever. They were friends, and then they were enemies. Right. And then, oh, you're red? Like, no, I don't like you. And then later, he's like, okay, this is why you did all this. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he really only changes his allegiance one time. And that's...
Allegiance is in I pledge my allegiance to the United States, but allegiance is in my allegiance to my best friend, depending on whether we're going macro versus micro. His micro allegiance shifts quite a few times throughout the series.
I don't see it changing that many times, though.
Loves Darrow, kills Darrow, back as the Storm Knight, then he's killing the Sovereign. Okay, now he's going to go on a ship, and he's going to pull away from the Republic because he doesn't really know his position in it, and he's a drunk.
But that's not him. That's not him saying "fuck the Republic." That's him saying, "I can't be a part of this right now. I need to find myself. I need to protect this guy."
Which you would say his allegiance went from the Republic to himself, because he goes on a soul finding mission during that time period, and then. He almost switches completely over to the Rim after seeing the Rim. He's like, man, they've got a lot of honor. And then they kill him in a dishonorable way. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to escape because this really hot chick just walked in and said she wants to join the Republic and we're going to go, fight for Darrow. And he's like, she's cute. Let's get a ship. Let's get out of here. I don't even know if it wasn't for RA's influence if he would not have came to save Darrow. I think it was her push, and that's why he ended up there.
No, I think he would have.
Absolutely would have.
Yeah, I think so.
Lies. Or he would have stayed. He would have stayed. I feel like he would have stayed. And sorry, my headphones are beeping out. I don't know if you didn't hear me that point, but
We can hear you now.
Yeah, it always
yeah,
bothered
I feel like
me
if
at
his
the end of
allegiance.
Morningstar of why did you take Lysander and go? And I get it because the Republic doesn't like he killed Fitchner. He is the one responsible, but he also at that point had Severo fake kill himself to prove a point so that Cassius
Right.
doesn't get killed. That you could have he could have wormed his way back into the Republic. So why did he leave at the end of Morningstar? What's the point?
Because I think he goes from his heart, and I honestly think he still loved Mustang at that point in time.
Yeah.
And yes, he wanted to do the right thing, but to see Darrow and Mustang together, I think that would have been a point of pain for him, on top of the fact he was used to being on top. So I think the easiest option for him was to leave. And I understand that, but at the same time, it doesn't make him my favorite character. You know what I mean?
Like that not because of honor, but because he wanted to just disappear, and he's like, "Oh, I can't see any of this. I need to go do my own thing. I need to go figure my own stuff out. I need to get over all this stuff." And
yeah, that same his quote,
if you will, like
that's what he said. Like, you know, I hid behind honor. I hid behind the fact that I was a good tyrant. I thought that made me a better person. And you know, he's like, I was wrestling with those ideas.
Yep.
Those reasons for leaving weren't exactly honorable, but in the end, they ended up looking honorable.
Yeah.
When he came full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Was his reason for leaving, I don't feel like I'm capable or I'm worthy of being in this Republic. I need to redeem myself by making this person better.
Don't get me in my feels and make me think he's like a good person, okay?
Oh, what?
Nah, don't do that to me. Come on.
I forgot that he was selfish and he didn't want to look at all the things that he's done. So he's like, I'm just going to run away. I'm going to like cut myself off from everybody. And maybe I'll come back, maybe I'll return, but I'm just going to disappear. And like, if people forget about me, they forget about me.
And watch all of the hollows about like Darrow and Virginia getting married. And
yeah, that always hit different for me. I don't know. It's weird.
Cassius didn't abandon the Republic. Cassius went to go find himself.
Mm-hmm. He went on a spirit walk. Space spirit walk.
And he found himself in a pink. Of all people, the ones that he abused most. Yeah. And a pink who denied his advances. Which, again, my favorite character.
It's all coming back around. I love it. Well, we never actually, the closest friend ally, so most people did say Darrow.
Right.
But the interesting thing, so between the soulmate and this one, it did change a little bit. 3 people for Lyria, which might be the same 3 as before. But now suddenly Pytha is getting people. 2 people are Pytha. One saying, this is tough. It was going to be Lyria, but I think it was Pytha. They were true friends and allies their entire relationship, which I do think gets back to what I was saying earlier of, I think Pytha did what she could to survive. And that's why at the end, she switches back when she realizes what Lysander's done. Lost train. But then some of the other answers, Severo, I didn't see that coming. I don't know what book they're reading. That Severo is the...
Severo?
He's a Lightbringer. I think they finally squash it. Remember? Because they have that brawl.
Yeah, they now are friends. I don't think he's suddenly his closest friend. I don't think Severo is something... No.
Respect for each other.
Yeah. The Archimedes. I like this idea of just the ship is his friend.
It's the ship. I changed my answer. It's the Archimedes. That is the best answer. Oh my gosh. Never did that.
Someone else said alcohol.
Oh, no, don't say that.
It's so dark.
And then
he got sober at the end.
Our dear friend, who we think might be Coin. Hard to tell from only the first book. He seemed to get along with other golds like Antonia.
Ugh.
But I wouldn't say he had any true friends or allies. Antonia, not Roke. Didn't say Roke. who I would have said is his his true friend in the first book.
Only
other than
reading
Darrow.
Red Rising. Yes, absolutely.
Antonia, who I'm pretty sure doesn't he make jokes that he slept with her?
Yeah, like way in the beginning. What do you say? She's a rotten peach. Like
Yep.
I took a bite of that rotten peach. Like,
he's a hoe. It's fine.
Yeah.
That is correct.
All right. Now's the time to get sad. So before
Sad boy hours.
we discuss Hangar 17B, any other things we want to talk about of his journey to this point?
We did the stabbing.
I don't think we have the time.
I know.
Oh, one of my favorite like laugh out loud moments for him in this book is they're breaking into the cell that they think that Severo's in, and Darrow's in there, and he's like, "It's a trap!" And then he sees the door about to come down, and he's like, "Move!" And Cassius jumps into the cell, and he's like, "Who the fuck jumps into the cell? Like, I told you to move!" And he's like, "I don't know. You just said move." And it's like my favorite, like, I don't know. It is so...
It's so good.
Like, bringing you back to the, like, Red Rising. It's a full circle. I was in tears. I was like, that's very Cassius. You didn't tell me what direction to move. You just said move. And now they're here together, and...
so good.
Peak Cassius at that point.
Yeah. He is a lot of the comic relief, I would say, in Lightbringer. Like, he's just got his sassy
100%.
banter.
He walks in with the...
Looking off into the sunset, pointing at his chin.
Yeah.
Volga being like, that's the prettiest man I've ever seen.
Volga literally falling all over herself.
Okay, hear me out.
Sorry about your friend. He's the most handsome man ever. That's all she knew about him.
A warrior must tell the truth.
He must tell the truth, and he is beautiful. And we're like, yeah, we know. If he would have trained her, because that was the plan, right?
No, that was...
If he... I have a theory. Not him and Lyria. I think him and Lyria would have been like BFFs. They would have always had each other's back, kind of similar to him and Darrow in the first book. But I think he would have ended up be with Volga, because he'd be training her, and she'd be leading the Obsidians, and he's like
the
a razor
personal trainer trope.
Yeah, and then they get into this like training montage, and she's still like, he's the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And he's like, oh, really? Tell me more, because I love this so much.
I love this for me.
Yeah, I love this for me. He's like, do you want to go ski at my resort in Attica? And she's like, sure.
Volga.
Call me Snowball.
I got worried about Volga for a minute there. Like, I thought...
Or would she snowball him?
He'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
I will say that...
Did you guys hear...
Oh, go on.
I can't remember who was on when we were talking about it. I think it was Prepper. Darrow was talking with Cassius about how he wanted Volga to have a Razor Master.
Yeah.
And how that was the one thing that would have saved Ragnar's life.
Yeah.
Because Ragnar died because he had never had a Razor Master.
How dare you bring up Ragnar while we're talking about Cassius's death?
Already? Press right now. God.
That's the second time you've
quiet broke me. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
This series is so good.
Yep.
As we cry all over it. All right. Well, the next question is if his death is a true redemption of his character. I feel like Hydro and Crescent are going to say that he didn't need redemption.
I don't.
That's correct. I don't know what more you want from me.
Because I've been thinking, if he didn't go off and do what he did, like, would it have even mattered? Like, would he still would have died? Like, would everything still, like, would Lysander still have gotten all killed? This is getting to me now.
It did matter. It
Yeah,
did matter because
But if he
Atlas
hadn't
died.
that, because there was a plan,
And
wasn't there a
fucking
plan?
Roan T. Flavinius.
Yeah, there was a plan. If they would have stuck to the plan, like, would he still be alive? Like, would Lysander still have gotten the mechanisms or whatever? Like, would things would have worked out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want a shirt that says #FuckRoan on it. For me, I think it fully redeemed him in my eyes. And this was the controversial.
I'm just so
I know.
excited about this.
I know. But it was the idea
Loving this.
that
Yes,
he,
probably more.
in the words of Lysander, unfortunately, in that moment, he is everything I love and nothing that I hate. When he just removes the owl in his name, and he knows for a fact that he is going to die. Now, I still struggle with the fact that I think he could have been more intelligent, he could have been more Mustangy, and, you know, got out of that situation so that he could go tell Darrow about the biochemical weapon. He could have, but that's not him. And we have to want people to be true to themselves. And in that moment, he was true to himself. He will haunt Lysander for the entirety of the Red God. And in that moment, he's everything that I love and nothing that I hate about him.
Aww.
Yeah.
So
don't make that occur because people are going to say I'm a sympathizer.
Also, hang on. I have one thing to say.
Yeah.
#FuckRoan. Why? Because Roan almost killed Lysander. That would have saved Cassius. Just saying.
There was just...
He almost killed Lysander.
I feel like I don't... And obviously, I
In
don't
close
like
combat.
people who change their allegiances. I like people who stick with what they say that they are. Like, if you are down for Darrow, be down for Darrow. If you are, I am going to show up and I am serving the blood of the conquerors. You are Lysander Alloon. I am your person.
Yeah.
That
Is
don't like
Atlas not the blood of the conquerors?
Who?
Atlas. Aura.
He is
Blood
not
of Akari.
like, if you believe in the society as a whole and not the society that's broken up, you know what I mean? Then loons are above Ra in that situation. And, you know, Atlas was supposedly serving the Sovereign, serving the loons this entire time. And if Atlas was a person who served the Ra, then he would have not done anything he did in the entirety of Lightbringer, but he was serving, you know, the Sovereign and the idea behind, like, making sure that the Ra did not rebel again. That was his main purpose. So I just don't really understand where Rune fits in. It's weird for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would have been cool if he shot Lysander.
Yeah.
Low key.
Yeah, Lysander getting shot in the head.
I was impressed with the level of, like, when we were breaking down that battle, the whole time I was like, he's a gray.
Yes.
Like, he's a gray, and he is fighting a loon right now. And there's just, I can't get over his skill set. And what does that tell us about the other grays? What does that tell us about Holiday? Like, you know.
Yep.
How skilled they actually are.
Yeah, for sure. And
Lysander even calls it out during that fight.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no gray would close with a gold.
I know.
Roan is not that.
No, but I feel like he's got Atlas must have trained all his grays
Oh,
to be
he's
of a certain
like
level.
Lysander says, like, this is not the first time that Roan has fought with a razor.
Mm-mm.
Like, using a razor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but Darrow is terrible for giving
the razor to the the obsidian.
Yeah,
totally. So the answers to this oh, sorry, I didn't even ask the question. No, I did. Is his death a true redemption of his character? So
I think he got redeemed before. Like,
you got one before. I will say almost everyone who answered either said yes, this is the redemption, or that it was before. To the person who put yes, this is, and then in all caps locks, best redemption arc ever. Did you not like Cassius? Did you not?
Don't you hate
It
that
must culminate in his demise.
Don't you hate that he had to die for him to be redeemed? Like that's always like all the stuff that he did leading up to this. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, like he's got his redemption now. It's like he was doing his thing before that.
Yeah, do you think he could have not done more good if he was alive?
Yeah, and that's a lot of people. It's funny because a lot of he wasn't
more intelligent. He'd be alive. Sorry.
Yeah, there's quite
That's
a few
not his
people.
role.
He did what he could.
They can't
His
all
role
be
is to be a pretty
Mustangs.
swordsman, okay?
There was a lot who said, I'm going to say no just because I think he had so much left to do. His life was cut short, his redemption arc as it was, though, chef's kiss. So I think this person he's been redeemed, but I think there was more he could have done. That's kind of echoed through a few. Someone, I think he would make a good dad, great asset of the Rising.
Not sure on the dad part. Well,
I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, he tried a few times to be dad. It didn't really work out. But yeah, there's quite a few people.
A former fuckboy can be a good dad. Like, come on.
But I meant, like, he attempted... Well, I guess he didn't try and play dad with Lysander. He tried to play brother with Lysander, and that kind of blew up in his face. But yeah, a lot of people... he was
blew
redeemed.
up in his face.
Oh. He was redeemed in my eyes when he saved low-color kids from obsidians, and when he dropped the O from his name. Yeah. All right. What do we think our dear friend who's only read Red Rising thought?
Oh, God. He's like, wait, he dies? What?
Oh, good. It takes him this long to die?
I don't know anything about Cassius's death or later character arc based only on book 1. At that point...
Did you fill out the survey? Thank you for filling out the survey, but...
At that point, he didn't come across as redeemed at all.
What'd he say?
Please?
He was not redeemed at the end of book 1.
Yeah.
Because I know Coins is into he was into Golden Sun.
Please tell us who you are.
We love you so
If this is you...
In the comments.
We love you so much. We're sorry you had to find out this way. Please tell us who you are.
Please keep reading the series and then get more insight.
Experience the journey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To quote Brandon Sanderson, journey before destination.
I think we should give this person something. I don't know what. We don't ever do giveaways, but I think they deserve
the rest of the
something.
series.
I have a Helldiver hat.
A little bottle of Goldschlager.
Because you're not going to drink it because it's terrible.
It's terrible.
I have a brand new
It's terrible
Helldiver
if she
hat.
pours herself more.
So I'm going to pour more because I don't have anything else to drink.
All right, well, moving from that, what do you think his either dying regret or biggest accomplishment? And you can give both.
Oh, what did he accomplish? He tried to accomplish something.
What did he accomplish?
Because he just failed so many times.
Hydro, you're fighting my point, girl.
What did he accomplish?
He saved Darrow and Mercury.
Yes. He did.
Good job.
At RA behest. I do think it was RA there, but anyway.
Well, she certainly facilitated it. But he went.
His dying...
He was there.
Dying wish?
Dying regret or biggest accomplishment.
I say biggest accomplishment was that he came full circle, understood himself more, came back to the Republic, and actually fought for the Republic in the end.
Yep.
I think his dying regret, unfortunately, was that he was not able to sway Lysander to the cause.
Yep.
100%. I agree on both of those.
Yeah. Probably just his dying regret would probably be like letting Darrow down. Because I keep in my head, I just keep replaying when they're, the cockpit, and they're just like having their bro moment, and they're just confessing all the things that they love about each other and like their whole lives that they spent together. And it's just so nice. And it's like they should have had more of that. They're like, okay, well, when this is all over, gonna go, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna be bros, and like everything's gonna be fine. And like
The anxiety that I got after that
the
conversation.
foreshadowing, I should have
Fuck. I thought Darrow was dying, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, all of our fan fiction writers, can you just please write alternate universe where Cassius didn't die?
Oh.
And like the escapades that Darrow and Cassius would get up to.
If
Just
somebody
as
does
fun
write
brothers.
that, it's just gonna piss us off. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be mad about it and be like, "Oh, why did you do that?"
I don't want
How
to.
dare you besmirch his memory?
You guys kind of nailed it. Everyone said that the biggest regret is Lysander. Now, a couple people did say how he treated Mustang, and some of his childhood antics, but almost everybody said Lysander would be his biggest regret, and saving Darrow or rejoining the Republic, helping the Republic, was his biggest accomplishment. It was overwhelming on this one. Big shout out though to the person who did not say if this was a dying regret or a biggest accomplishment, and just put he left the world a better place. I'm gonna say he regrets that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What was I gonna say?
Someone else, I think he'd say he regrets nothing. It's cute.
Maybe he probably does regret nothing.
Yeah,
because he did everything. Well, he thinks he did everything he could to redeem himself and to better things and to help Darrow and to try and help Lysander. So maybe him going out. He probably knew when he was going in to be like, he knew that he's like, I'm probably not going to get out of this alive, but I'm going to try my damned hardest to fix this, to save everything.
Yep.
But maybe.
Graham's got the book back out. What are we looking at?
Because I'm being a butthole. The same thing I read earlier with him saying,
oh yeah,
I realize now that I was a more tolerable tyrant. Like I was still the boot that was on the red and the pink, and I loved all the things that being a Bologna made me.
Yeah.
But realizing that that's not who he should have been, essentially. So he has a little bit of regret there, I do believe.
Yeah, I agree as well that I think he knows he's done wrong, and that's what makes part of his redemption arc complete. Is part of that is you can't just take it as like, hey, this is my past, whatever. You have to own up to that and make better on it. I will say one person did say the end of his dying regret would be the end of the Bologna line. I don't think he cares anymore about the Bologna line, in my opinion.
I think that he doesn't want to care about it, but he probably a little bit does.
Yeah.
Just the way that the ego speaks in that type of world, he's trying to like silence that part of him to be like, no, we're going to do better. We're going to be better. But I can see him being like, it'd be really cool if their eagle flew, Yeah,
if he would have survived, he would have tried to like make their reputation better than what it was.
Right.
Yep.
So that makes sense. But he kind of disassociated himself from his family when he started doing his own thing. So
like his own thing, like sovereign. That was the like, wait a second. He's like, deuces, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go drink with Lysander. And they're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Lona's like, I'm gonna eat something. Or wait, didn't she not eat for so long until
waiting for Darrow's heart?
Oh, don't worry, we will get into that in a moment.
Oh, okay.
We will but first, our dear friend from Just Red Rising.
Okay, let's go.
His dying regret might be his role in Julian's death and his betrayal of Darrow, while his biggest accomplishment could be his eventual realization and attempt to rectify his mistakes. Hey, you kind of nailed it with the second part.
Yep.
I don't think he really had a role in Julian's death.
I was gonna say he had no
Nope.
role in that. He had no choice.
Yeah, exactly 0.
Even
I wonder
everybody.
if it was like his love of wanting to go to the Institute and knowing that his brother had no business being in the Institute.
But that's his
But
family.
he-
Oh, no.
They talk
No,
about
he
his
was
family
not-
putting on that pressure.
Yeah. No. His family knew that he shouldn't go to the Institute.
Yeah.
They were
But
shocked
getting
when he
the
got
invitation and declining it is an illegal act.
Yeah.
You can't say no. If you get the invite, you have to go.
Yeah.
And the invite was basically Julian's death sentence.
Can you default and go to a different country for like bone spurs?
Different
Nope.
planet.
Did I just get political? I'm sorry.
We'll just let that lie. I like it.
We'll let that lie. Canada's really
What would
close.
happen if they would
I'm
have put them
just saying.
together?
I mean, my mom's first marriage was to a Vietnam draft dodger. Just saying, can you marry a Canadian to get out of the Institute?
That's my question. That is the question.
Does it constitute a war crime? Because if yes, then definitely.
We need to send that to Pierce with 0 context. That's it. Can you
In the Reaper's
get out of
room.
the Institute by
Answer
draft
is
dodging?
XOXO
Canadians.
How much random mail have we sent him in the past year and a half?
I don't know.
Several.
I don't know if he has his June t-shirt yet. Yeah.
Oh,
Check your
it was
P.O.
cool.
box.
Here's, check your P.O. box.
No.
Oh,
And
we
your
should have told
email.
Jenna to tell him.
Oh,
Okay,
we should
here.
have.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have like a whole series of everybody in the den, and we'll be like, Pierce, check your P.O. box. And the next person, and we'll do it over and over.
We'll do an
like
Instagram reel of
vaccinated.
everyone going.
Of
Check your...
everyone, as many people as we can get.
What if
And
he
then
checked
send
it
to
and he
him.
just
Yeah, he's already like, yeah, I checked it. I just didn't respond. Like, come on.
It's like, I'm busy. Okay.
Yeah. I've got a red God to write.
I know.
All right. Next question. I think most of these actually came from Dram, but this one calls out Dram because I hate fan theories. So Dram asked for this one.
Yeah.
How do you think Lady Bologna will act if she finds out how he died?
Oh, she flipping.
You think so?
Yep.
Wasn't he not her favorite son, though?
He was her only son.
I say that if it comes down to Lysander being in power and being not Atlantia, because I think she'll still stay with Atlantia, but I think if Lysander is the sole power and she finds out that Lysander was the person to kill him,
Brutalized him.
yeah, I think she's full flipping the table, Bible, Jesus throwing it up, like the whole switching sides.
Yeah.
Do you think she'll talk to Darrow and be like,
I think she'll talk to Mustang. She will not talk to Darrow.
Oh, yeah.
She is way too
What
gold
if
to
he
talk to
did,
Darrow.
though? Like, wouldn't that be wild?
I think, and because her finances are so crucial, and they have been repeated over and over, how much her finances are crucial for Lysander. I think when that comes out, and it could come from Pytha, which would be really, really, really cool,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Yeah.
She flipping.
Okay, so 2 people say that she doesn't care. Because he was pretty much disowned.
I don't think
He's
she would
been-
care.
I don't
She's
think she knew
probably
he was
been
alive.
Dead. Yeah. He's probably been dead to her for 12 years, is what. But everyone else pretty much says pissed. And it is interesting because I kind of forgot, like, my thought was she'll deflect to the Republic. But at Atlantia and Lysander, we leave them at odds with each other. So a few people point out that she might flip to Atalantia's side.
That's my thought, for
Mhm.
sure. She
Which I
won't
forgot.
go to saying Reds are equal to us if she has a goal to back.
Yeah.
If she doesn't have a goal to back, like if Atlantia falls, I
Then
think
she'll
I think that Cassius got his rage from somewhere where he shoved the knife into his friend's stomach because he killed his friend, or killed his twin. So if she genuinely cares about Cassius, then maybe she will flip to that rage and be just done.
Yeah. Someone has said, I think there's 2 people in here who talk about it, but she will go to Darrow and ask him to deliver Lysander's heart to her on a silver platter so she may finally eat. And someone else somewhere in this says a very similar of her eating the heart. Oh yeah, I want Julia to have Lysander's heart served to her on a platter if she's not the one to kill him herself.
I would love the last scene of Red God to be her cutting Lysander's heart and fucking eating it.
That's right.
Oh.
I'd be metal as fuck.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And Severus is like, I like this bitch.
Right?
She's got a good...
Yeah, he's like, hey, are you gonna share?
Right? Like, can I have part of that?
And Victor's like, he said share or I'll kill you.
Yeah, right. 2 call-outs. There's a lot of different call-outs in this. To the person who said Skipper loves herself a good fan theory, who is she kidding? I only like the ridiculous ones. I only like the absolutely
or the ones that are like
ones.
scary correct.
Yeah.
The ones that she creates that are
is running this whole thing.
Yeah.
No, like Evie is Kyber.
Yeah.
What?
Just
we'll get into
Dram.
that. We broke Dram. That's why I have Evie's above me right now.
You can't do that shit to me. It is too late.
We'll get into it after. But also the other person who's put, she's gonna lose it, and then the trademark symbol. We won't steal your ideas. Like whoever trademarked, she's gonna lose it. I appreciate you.
Very much.
And then a couple people. Oh, one. I think she's going to become she's going to weirdly become obsessed with Lysander as some type of son by proxy. So if Lysander, I guess, hides it, and then she flips.
Until the hollow drop comes in her mail.
Yeah, that someone calls out, I think Pytha has a video recording of Lysander killing him.
That's right.
All right.
Hey, you remember when I took you to go get candy? Like, deep breath. Any mother should melt into a pool. Now, I'm not saying she's a true mother, but if she has any of those genes in her, she's gonna fuck some people up.
I'm so scared for Red God, to be honest. I'm so afraid.
All right, are we ready for
every chapter? I was like, "What's gonna happen?"
It's gonna be a hard one.
So scared! Oh my god! I sent you the video of me reading the last chapter. I was like, I don't know if I can handle the rest of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you guys zoom in on Pierce's story of him writing?
Apparently, some of it is legible. I tried. Zoom in.
Some of it is legible.
No, it's not. If it's legible,
it's a very little bit. It's very, very little.
I zoomed into his books behind his fireplace.
Drop it in the Patreon so we can see. Everyone else join our Patreon. So if you did not,
like and
seriously, join the fucking Patreon. If you're listening at this point, what is it like?
Yeah,
$2-3 a month.
You won't know. Not even that. You'll get a postcard, and maybe it'll be from Skipper.
And that's really fucking cool.
Crescent is coming to visit me in April, and maybe I'll write some postcards while he's here. We can get Niagara Falls. We can get Niagara Falls postcards for our Patreons.
Fuck yeah!
There you go. Oh my god!
You know how loves that. I apologize.
Everybody come to Toronto for Skipper's birthday.
Yeah, our dear friend who's only read Red Rising.
Oh no!
Again,
this is a long one.
We love you.
I don't think...
Possibly more than anyone.
Sorry, I don't know anything about how Cassius dies, so I can't really speculate on how his mother would react. My last thought is that Cassius in book 1 is very unlikable, but perhaps his character evolves and becomes more sympathetic in later books that I haven't read. Those are just my limited opinions, though, based on incomplete information from only the first book and card game. I'm sure fans who have read the whole series will have much more insightful perspectives.
I'm gonna message Coin right now and just ask him, like, did you
First off, this is the most self-aware person who's like, hey, I mean, maybe he grows in the next couple books. And we're like, no. 6 books. 6 books it takes him to grow. And then he's doing good, you know?
Yep.
He needs to get shot down a little bit by a pink.
Just gotta knock down a couple pegs.
Yeah. All right. There's 2 last questions. One, though, I want to see, we're going to go, for as much as time has, I'm going to go through a few of these, and I want to see your reactions. These are the most unpopular opinion. These are the unpopular opinions about Cassius. I will see some of these are popular.
Hop on YouTube right now, because all of us are going to have facial expressions.
It's going to be great.
And you absolutely need to see them. Also, follow, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
All right.
Doing work.
We're going to start strong on this one. He, Darrow, and Mustang should form a throuple.
No.
Here for it. 100% here for it.
No.
If somebody wants to write a fanfic, I will watch it.
I will watch
Darrow's
it.
I will watch it.
She's gonna watch it.
Hear me out.
You will watch it. For
Darrow,
science.
Somebody cosplay.
For science. And then we'll break it down.
Darrow and Mustang go on vacation, and they meet a dolphin.
Oh.
And then we get a very, very good breakdown of the Dominican Republic room that they throuple. And Cassius is here for it. He's down. I know he is.
Yeah, Cassius is. I think Mustang might also be almost down for it. It's Darrow that I feel like is too straight laced for that. That he'd be like,
He's gonna
"What am
struggle.
I supposed to do right now?" Like he would not.
Do we take turns?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That would be the only thing he would know what to do with his hands.
Yeah, touch himself.
It's like, Holiday, come on in here.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's too much.
We're moving on from that one.
That's a Patreon discussion.
I was gonna rope Holiday in on it, so Darrow knew what to do with his hand.
Yeah, there you go. Someone says that he wasn't interesting until near the end of Iron Gold. I missed something, didn't I?
What?
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 I looked away. I'm only going to find out via editing.
Hand gestures that Yeah, we're good.
This is when we get banned off YouTube.
It takes a lot to get banned on YouTube.
Come on!
Yeah.
Covered.
Yeah, covered. All right.
You literally have a jacket on your chair. You do not need to put it on.
You are fine. You're getting us the views, Dram. Someone said he wasn't interesting until near the end of Iron Gold. I feel like he's interesting. He's just an arrogant ass.
Because he's such an ass. He's such an ass throughout the whole series, and you're like,
well, until like late Morningstar.
I think it's fair to say that he doesn't have a whole lot of dimension to him until he gets older into Iron Gold. Then you start seeing the other parts of him and the way he works. We also get like perspective differences during that time too.
Which is anybody.
I think we start to see Cassius's depth when he's in chains drinking with Darrow.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, this is.
But I also Reds emotionally grow up very quick.
Yeah.
And Golds, especially those that are like Iron Golds being very pampered, have kind of a slow maturity, slow to get there. And we are in Darrow's perspective in the first trilogy, so it's kind of hard to be like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Mature a little faster.
So it's interesting that somebody else said the start of his redemption arc in the original trilogy was sudden and too quick. So someone, I think, didn't like how quickly he flipped into a morning star.
You think so? I don't think so.
I felt
I
it coming.
disagree with that one.
You want to know why? Because he doesn't think with his head. He thinks with his
Head.
short. And he loved Mustang. And if Mustang said it's going to be cool, then it's got to be cool.
Yep.
Well, no, the reason he flipped is because Darrow told him that the Sovereign allowed his entire
Oh, yeah.
family to be killed.
That killed his family. But also in the back of his head, he's like, Mustang's still there.
Mm.
True.
Yep.
But you're right. Encyclopedia.
I think his
You saw-
outward confidence is a sign of his
Never
inward
forget.
insecurity.
Don't give me that shit.
You need some therapy. That's what I'm reading there.
From a pink named R.A. I still think that the reason we saw such a complete redemption arc is he rode from the rim to go rescue Darrow with R.A. and she is like, she's been a therapist. So I think there might be therapy in space.
And is he working on his inward insecurity?
I
Is
think
that
he
gonna
does
be-
have those.
Is
But
it
at
gonna-
the same time,
I feel like it's going to be an issue, like, in Community with Jeff and his ego. Like,
Jeff,
Your anxiety is the only thing keeping you penned
yeah,
in.
I genuinely think that's Cassius. Is that he's just so egotistical, but he's got his insecurities, he has his issues, and so it's keeping him down a little bit. And the moment he goes to therapy and works through
He'll be
those
too
things,
powerful.
exactly. This is why he needed to die, is because he was on the verge of becoming just too much.
He was on the verge of becoming Seacrest Hulk.
Yes. Or an exploded apple.
I need to drink more Goldschlagers on that. No.
Everyone go watch Community
Yeah, the apple was about to explode. He was gonna season 3, episode 12, I think.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia is just throwing out numbers.
Yeah.
Hydro Dram, drink water. Cheers.
Thank you.
I
Everybody
have
drink water.
Water.
Yep, it is season 3, episode 12. Community Contemporary Impressionists.
Yeah.
Shout out. Hydra just put her Hydro Flask up, and it has a fade to obsidian
Yeah.
logo.
And the Howlers.
Oh,
Den.
hell yeah.
And the Howlers.
I don't even have a Fade to Obsidian sticker.
Bro.
I don't either. I have everyone
bought all
else.
the shirts.
I've
Kidding
got
me? Both are the worst.
I've got Goose Bucket. I've got Words of Whiskey. I got the Howlers Den. I've got Hail Reaper. I've got
You have every
Yep.
podcast.
Hazard Bedlam.
Yep.
Cabin
Yeah,
Boys.
Words and Whiskey, Howler's
Sloth.
Den, Cabin Boys,
Yes.
Hazard Bedlam,
To be fair, I think
Helldivers Union,
I think we just
Let
stole
Fall the
Words and
Rain,
Whiskey.
I just
Mark
lost in
Safe
book.
from HowlerCon.
Okay, you got
go
Jess,
by Jess Lost in Book.
and he's got Clang 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 from Just Lost in
Yeah.
Boats.
There you go.
I'm wearing my
100%.
HowlerCon from Late Escalates. I think we just stole Words and Whiskey's stickers. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
True Howler fashion. We just steal things that we want.
I have one of their keychains. Pretty sure I stole it. I look at it all the time, and I'm like, am I supposed to have this, or did I just take it?
If you don't get caught, it's fine.
Pretty sure I've been caught with it, but anyway.
Wise
Yeah.
word, Hydra.
Never.
If you don't get caught, it's fine.
All right. Back on this. So let's talk about his ego. Someone has written, unpopular
Uh-oh.
opinion, the chin isn't really that great. Sharp jawlines aren't attractive.
Prove it.
Disagree.
I mean, that's really not negotiable. We can talk about his intellect, but his beauty is non-negotiable.
It's there. It's there.
That sounds.
There's no denying.
It was wrote by somebody who doesn't have a sharp jawline.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
I'm not a bully. Just to be clear, Cassius was a bully. I wasn't trying to bully.
I'm gonna go through these faster because we're coming up on my bedtime.
Okay.
Got
The
it.
reason Mustang dated him wasn't for political purposes. It was because he can lay that pipe.
Amen.
Canon.
Mustang has said before, was it
Both
Darky?
one N and two N's.
She said, she's like, well, I have high standards. So,
This horse
Cassie's
only
met her
rides for one
standards.
man.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
The things I do for my country.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one. I hated how he was so honor-driven in the beginning of the saga, and how that probably rubbed off on Darrow, giving villains chances to redeem themselves.
Oh shit, that's fair.
Ooh, that
And
is
I
a good point.
Still kind of hate. Oh, excuse me. I still kind of hate how he still was honorable until the end, because one, Lysander might be dead now. Two, Cassius would still be alive. If it wasn't all about honor. It's a traditional dueling practice and being focused on honor rather than justice, when we even realize now that the villains aren't honorable. So where's the divide between honor and justice?
But you can have honor
Red.
following anything, right?
Like I want to applaud like the verbiage, everything there.
that was really good.
Incredible. I didn't mean to talk over you.
No.
But I was so happy. I was like, somebody spelled that out very well.
It was really good. But you don't have
kind
to
of
follow
disagree.
anything to have honor. You can have honor without listening to anybody. Like rubbing
They're
off on
calling
it.
out
Always had it. Daryl
Yeah.
always had it.
honor, but without intelligence can get you in a lot of trouble. But again, as Crescent said, that is him as a character.
Yeah.
He is Mustang. We can't expect everybody to be Mustang. He was Cassius, and Cassius
Yeah, the
is
book would be less fun if everybody was Mustang.
Yeah. Can you imagine
Dude.
if Severo was Mustang?
No.
Nope. No.
Severo and Darrow together?
Mm. There you go.
Fanfic.
All right.
Happen.
Yeah.
So many
Get us all the
fanfics.
fanfics. Get us all the fanfics. All right. Let's go to our dear friend, who may or may not be coins.
Oh gosh, again.
I think it's coins.
My
check my
opinion that Cassius is an antagonistic bully. I'm not sure if that's an unpopular take or not. I will say book one, that's yeah.
accurate.
That's accurate. I don't think that's an unpopular take.
Again, get on YouTube because I just did a happy dance and I agree with it. And that has been my
That's
twist from here on out.
All right. The last
your-
question here,
There
and
you
then
go.
I'm going to throw it back to you guys. Any last thoughts? And I'm going to speed read these.
Okay.
Is ready for them?
Oh.
His honor remains. Again, best redemption arc ever. His honor remains. His honor remains. He was too good of a man for the life he led due to the circumstances of his birth, and despite those, he became someone worthy of his gifts and ease of life. That one was a long one to try and speed read. Clang, clang, clang. Not really seeing why people hate Cass so much. He's not even really that arrogant. He just seems like a typical frat boy type jokester. Lots of friends, good at everything, jokes all around all the time, and likes to have fun. Even Darrow likes him, and he hates golds. We love the bloody damn fool. I love him, Your Honor. He's my emotional support fuckboy.
That's it.
Clip it. Clip it.
If you hear this and you put that in there, please just be like, it was me at Dram, and I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah.
Emotional
Cassius.
way. I need to get you a
Cassius
pen that says that.
Yes. He's my emotional support fuckboy.
A
Cassius is the dopest dope I've ever smoked. Also, congrats to Hydro for being on the right side of history.
Let's go. Thank you. You're welcome.
How does it feel to be recognized?
Good. Good.
Some-
Drink water. Water. Don't forget to drink water.
Rest in peace to a legend. I'm happy that Cassius got the heroic ending he deserved, but I'm also sad that he won't be in the final book. He brought a perfect balance of meaningful interactions and comic relief that were essential to the growth of everyone on the Archimedes. Someone got deep. Followed up by Team Cassius forever. Cassius is my sweet boy, and I refuse to believe he is dead. I simply cannot live without him. fuck you, Lysander, and Pierce
Fuck you,
too, for
Lysander.
doing this to us.
Oof.
Bold move.
In the same vein, Pierce also gave us Cassius. So
Ooh.
can't hate the man too much.
I'm sure I have thoughts, but if I think about it too long, this form will clear and we can't have that. So that person, you could have emailed me. I need more Cassius. Cassius is the best, and he deserved a better death. He had the best
Better
redemption. Yeah. I think he had a pretty good death.
It was
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a
had
good death.
He had 2 phenomenal deaths.
That's true.
He really did.
This was a better death than that Iron Gold bullshit that made me throw the book across the break room and yell and scream, and everybody looked at me.
Oh.
What's wrong with that girl? It's fine. I'm just reading.
It's fine.
It's a book.
I want the book. Read Red Rising.
Yeah, get convictions.
He had the best redemption arc I have ever known. He deserved better than to die, deserved to settle down and have a family of his own, but he gave all that up willingly.
I disagree that he'd be like the best family man. I think that him looking back on his life and knowing that he died for honor and he died like, you know, punching his worst regret in the nuts, I think that that's a good thing.
Yep.
To say it eloquently.
You don't think he could just like live on a farm and like have his family and
Not a chance.
no?
Men like him do
He's
not.
super rich.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
He's not a good man. In this sense, he's a great man, which, according to Lorna Arcos, they will never know peace.
No.
I
Daryl
don't
will
know.
write.
I think he was developing into a good man.
Yeah, Daryl will write his good story,
Yeah.
right? If he
Sure.
survives.
If he survives. But if we
Whole
lose
nother
him-
podcast on whether he's a good dad or not.
Yes, we'll come back. Cast Bash 4.0.
I feel like he's fucking dead.
Dram.
Quit beating him up. And I'm like, I'm
Who?
sorry.
Who? Did you just government name yourself?
Ew.
Oh!
You have to cut it out.
I'll edit it out. I'll edit it out. Anyone who says Cassius didn't redeem himself is wrong and silly. Okay.
Correct.
Honestly, Cassius Bologna was one of the best characters from Red Rising. He had his ups and downs, which makes him so realistic.
Super relatable.
Okay, pass.
I'm gonna go cry now. Thanks. Why did I fill out this survey? It still hurts. We appreciate you, whoever did that. We appreciate you.
I feel like it's like Alcatraz or something.
So hurt.
Gotta be.
Salem.
Salem's like,
I bet you anything that's Salem. That sounds like
She
the wording of Salem.
Was it twice or 3 times? She's like, oh, let's see if it hurts this time.
It still hurts.
I'll just do my makeup while I'm listening to Hangar 17B.
worst decision.
Yep.
It's brave though. It's brave.
Lysander must die.
Correct.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's gonna burn.
If he doesn't die in the most horrible way, I don't know what Hydro's gonna do.
Put him in
I don't
honey
know.
and feed him to the berserkers.
Yep.
So hard throughout the whole first half of Lightbringer. I loved him, and I hate myself so much for that. Like,
You believed. You believed. You had a-
He
had a
gets in the
chance.
Coliseum, and he stands up, and he's like, Mars must fall. I don't want Mars to fall, but at the same time, I was like, maybe it needs to. Like, I
Yep.
I understand.
appreciated his, like, he's so smart. That's that's why I typically don't like Cassius as a character, is I don't think he's like very intellectual, and Lysander is. And then it was like, oh, he's gonna sell his soul.
And the way that he can rally people, like the way people
Yeah.
listen to him, I was like, why? Like out of
He
everything
modeled every speech after Darrow's,
Yeah.
which is
which was super fucked up. Like, whenever after they Phobos and everything had fell again, she needs to go to bed. She has to wake up at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. But
Which is in
the
3
same
hours.
speech, went through the same, like with Phobos, as Darrow has said previously. So it was rough.
Yeah.
We should have seen it.
Ride,
You know, we should have all seen it coming. I just thought
You can
Pax was
never
gonna
see
die.
anything coming in.
Well, 'cause
that's
I
the
thought
great
Pax-
thing about.
I thought Pax was done for. Like when they were, like, I was like, oh man, like the foreshadowing for that. I was like, is it gonna be Pax? Because we knew somebody. Somebody was gonna go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was
just assumed
Kavix. I thought Kavix was gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't.
All
The
right.
only person to make Victra slightly shed a tear
I know.
was when Kavix came back in. She was like, okay.
He's fine.
So good. It's so good.
Final comment of the night is from our dear friend
Oh
who
no.
has not.
Go.
It's the longest of the final thoughts as well.
Oh, okay.
Really interesting.
You love to see it. Commitment.
Tuck in.
Commitment. Absolutely.
Since I've only read the first book, I don't have too many final thoughts on Cassius as a character. Based on his portrayal in Red Rising, he came across as an entitled, arrogant antagonist to Darrow without much depth or nuance. However, I recognize that characters often change and develop over the course of a series. It's entirely possible that Cassius becomes a more complex and sympathetic figure in later books as his backstory, relationships, and motivations are explored further. Many characters who start out as villains end up having redemption arcs, or at least. There we go.
That's pretty.
Someone has guessed the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
The crazy
Thank
part.
you to our friend who spoiled everything for our enjoyment. You definitely at least added something to this episode.
Seriously,
we appreciate
out yourselves. We're gonna send you a hat.
Yeah. We greatly
Or
You can
appreciate
give it. You can give it to Pierce if you meet him and let him make it the new.
Well, Pierce has the new.
I know he has a new hat, but
Buttons gave it to him. Button.
Yeah.
Right?
Button.
yeah.
Yeah.
Button.
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 All right. Final thoughts from you guys. What are you feeling?
Cassius is still a space fuck boy. I would still turn him down. But it's fair that his honor remains.
His honor remains.
His honor
does remain.
Wow.
Yeah, I wrote
Claps. Claps.
Yep.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That Goldschlager get into your
Brought a tear to my
bloodstream.
eye.
Brother of Darrow. Ugh.
Yeah. All right.
It makes me sad that Lysander is the only one that ever heard him say that.
I know.
Ah. No, there's got to be a hollow somewhere.
It's
That's
gotta.
gotta be.
There's been hollows of
Gaita.
every major thing.
Yeah.
Hytha. I'm standing by it.
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah.
the hollow.
You believe
But I know we need to sign off.
No, it's all good. Final thoughts from you guys on Cassius.
His honor remains.
His honor remains. Totally. Okay. From day one. From day one.
Unfortunately, his honor remains.
All
You
right.
loved it.
With
I did.
that,
I did.
will also say his honor remains. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Dram and Hydro, for coming back
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. We got the thing again.
I keep getting thumbs up because that is like my.
And then you get a little burst of, yep.
The like bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, thank you
Guys,
so
have a-
much. And yeah, for, I know it's been a difficult road. Thank you for reliving it with us. Dram, thank you for trying to be the villain on this episode.
I
I think he was a villain. I never thought he was a villain. That
No.
was.
No, Dram was being the villain.
Dram was being the villain.
Advocating
Me?
that
I'll take the heat.
Cassius bad.
I hate this space fuckboy so much, but yet his honor remains. Look at that.
Aw.
We don't talk bad about the dead. Come on.
Remains. I love it.
All right.
Remains.
Well, thank you
His
both.
honor remains.
It's been
Cheers.
great.
Like and subscribe.
Like and
Love you all.
subscribe. See you next week with Jigsaw from Orange Armory. Josh from Orange Armory.
yeah.
Dude, if you haven't been following his Instagram right
the
now,
Warsaw?
right now, get on because I am so stoked for it. He's incredible. All right.
Yeah.
So excited.
Guys,
Yeah.
See ya. Bye.
Cheers.